government, the country, or those who are participating in passing any kind of bill, they are educated to such a level that they can understand whether this policy can be passed or not, or whether it is a fruitful thing or not. One thing which I want to ask for education.
Okay, so this I'm telling you out of my personal experience. Look at the policy. But who is in charge here? Um, when I asked this question to him, exactly the same question, he says, does it work this way that the person who is passing the bill at that time has any right? He even said that it's more like the way I perceive it is it's more like a postman taking a letter from one end to the other, from the expert to the destination. Done that way. And if you look at the expert committee who has constituted all these things, first you must understand, I'm also addressing the previous question. It's a reset button that we are hitting. Trying to ask this question, have we done well so far? What is it that we can do? Can we be realistic and see what will be the implementation possibility? Is it even practical to implement these things? Say something. What has happened so far? What do you think we should have in the next few years? And tell us the timeline when it can be achieved. If you see, the achievement timeline they have given as 2020 to 2030 and 2030 to 2040. See, there are two timelines there. Majorly, they are focusing on 2030 to 2040. Because cutting down the syllabus, if you know, of NCRT last year, was not with a lot of hue and cry by the entire public. There were several implementation issues. So, put in a nutshell, the implementation part is a different question, but the suggestion part, advice part, comes from experts. And I think we can rely on the experts here. And this is a bigger exercise and a more holistic approach than simply saying point 1, 2, 3, 4, go ahead and implement it. I somehow feel this seems to be a better idea than simply doing it in an atomic scale. Develop 500-page document, keep editing it, go at, we call this agile technology in computer science. Do something quickly and keep editing it. Even your Wikipedia works, start something and keep editing it. Right? So that seems to be the focus of this policy, and I'm very confident that it will definitely work. Quickly, I would like to add one more point about the previous discussion, or the previous implementation issue on the infrastructural difficulties, as Sir rightly pointed out. Today is the era of MOOCs. Even National Education Policy very nicely says that. Okay, the sage on the stage model is a typical teacher standing on the stage and then giving a sermon, which is very important. We understand, but can it be supplemented well with online lectures? There has been a lot of debate on this, saying how can you replace a human being with a monitor, but then a human being can be supplemented with a monitor, right? I require my mom for my bringing up, but my uncle can probably be a good supplement in situations where my mom is not around or things that my mom cannot concentrate on, right? So this MOOCs probably will fill the infrastructure. If you have seen the Khan Academy and our own NPTEL, they're doing wonders in terms of giving what we cannot do in classes. Trust me, there are times when I watch NPTEL lectures of some other professors and prepare for my class. Sometimes I use the same jokes that they quote in the NPTEL lectures. And this is coming from, let's say, from a place like IIT, NIT students, that we watch lectures before going to the class to understand what is the quality with which they render their teaching. So, all in all, I think infrastructural issues wouldn't be optimized stuff. If you watch the movie Mission Mangal, I'm not revealing the plot. The idea there is to, it is not fuel efficient, but then think of some other way where we use less fuel but still achieve the Mars mission. Right? This is something like that. We have suggested this can be done, that can be done, but definitely infrastructural and monetary issues will be there. But then can we have some sort of a trust where we can get all these things done in an optimal fashion? Right?
I want to add one thing. I can be a vegetarian. I can be equally apprehensive about the quality and the character and the way the parliamentarians behave. But still, I wish and I'm prepared in the of a democratic quality to exist. I want to believe them. And I mean the onus comes on us that if we can, when we are electing the people, are we electing the people on very right kind of notes? But right that the parliamentarians of any human, maybe they are not good. But then, and if we insist on this, I am apprehending that it will come. Then, when this democratic freedom space will also atrophy, it will also end. So, from that point of view, it's a long battle. Uh, Books, I think that may agree with me that we could spare the children from that because it would this idea would work in higher education, but not with tiny thoughts. Because here at school level, we really need a caring teacher. Of course, it can supplement.
Just to add, what she was asking about the process, because this is a policy, we should also understand the constitutional procedure. When a government, this policy draft is prepared by whom? It is by Ministry of HRD, set up a panel, draft the national education policy. So government is involved right in the beginning. And when a policy draft is made, it goes to the cabinet for the approval. We are not going to pass, the government is not going to pass any act on it. It will not go to the parliament first. First is the policy draft, which is to be approved by the cabinet, which is headed by the prime minister and involve all the ministers. So when government itself is setting up a panel of the expert, asking them to suggest a draft of the policy, so it will go through. It will go through very easily, and this policy would pass. That's why what they have done is the policy is drafted has been now sent to the public domain for their opinion. So what we are discussing today is a public opinion. You are sharing your opinion and whatever inputs we are going to add, it will be taken into consideration based on the merits of the whatever suggestions we are giving, and once it is added in the final draft, it will go to the cabinet for the approval. Once policy is approved by the cabinet, whatever is mentioned within the policy, like for example, the certain authorities to be changed from UGC, another body is going to come, statutory bodies to be, then act would be passed. So we have to understand the procedural aspect also and what the also highlighted. Now, democratic process, all people are accountable. Now, gone are the days when politicians were not accountable. If you look at nowadays, politicians are very actively participating in taking, because they know if they don't deliver, they may not be re-elected. So now the situation is changing. Politicians are also very keen for development of their constituency and in the as far as this policy is concerned, this is already set up by the government, appointed by a panel appointed by the government, so this will be very easily by the cabinet. So there will not be any challenges as far as implementation of this final draft would be there because government will is required and government is in majority at the center and they would be able to because there is a strong will to support it. Not have any kind of doubts about this implementation. Government will required and it is there now as far as implementation is concerned.
Dr. Suresh Kumar. Sir, I heard your speech and in your speech that there is nothing mentioned in the policy regarding the pharma. So can you please let us know the key points regarding the pharma that we can recommend for action in the policy?
Challenges, and these challenges in the healthcare system that can be directly connected into extra related into pharmaceutical sciences only. pharmaceutical has grown as such a different field. So, my suggestions to be incorporated in this national education policy to concentrate on more on research and higher education. So more funding towards the research in pharmaceutical sciences. My I to be agreed to.
Now next question is from Mr. Gurinder Kumar for Dr. Kushwinder.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि जो आरटी एक्ट है वो 2010 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਅੰਡਰ ਇੱਕ ਟੀਚਰ ਐਲੀਜੀਬਿਲਟੀ ਟੈਸਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਜੋ ਹਰ ਸਟੇਟ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਡਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬਟ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਟੇਟ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਛਲੇ 2 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਟੈਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਫਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਰਿਗਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਪੈਨਲਟੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਗਰ ਕੋਈ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਖੁਦ ਹੀ ਬਣਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਰਿਗਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਕੋਈ ਪੈਨਲਟੀ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕਿਆ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪੈਨਲਟੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਸਫਰ ਨਾ ਕਰਨ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਉਹ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਥੋੜੀ ਸੀ ਫਿਕਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਈ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਫਿਰ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਕਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ 2-2 ਸਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ ਕੰਡਕਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹੀ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਇਸ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਟੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਟੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਉਹ ਟੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਦੇ ਰੋਲ ਬੜੇ ਵੇਰੀਡ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਟੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਸਟੇਜ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਇੱਕ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਦਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਕੁਆਲੀਫਾਈ ਕਰ ਬੋਰਡਸ ਨੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਉਹ ਮਲਟੀਪਲ ਬੋਰਡਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਕਿ ਇੱਕੋ ਸਟੇਟ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਬੋਰਡ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਬਲਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਟੈਸਟ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਟ ਟੈਸਟ ਵਰਗਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੈਡਿਕਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਰੇਗੀ ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਪੈਸੀਫਿਕ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟਸ ਦੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਟ ਟੈਸਟ ਕੰਡਕਟ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਸ ਟੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਬੇਸ ਤੇ ਹੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਜੌਬਸ ਪਲੇਸਮੈਂਟਸ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਬੇਸ ਅਗਲੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹਾਇਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਂਟਰੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹੋ ਸਕੇਗੀ ਪਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਜੋ ਭਾਵ ਉਹ ਕਿਤੇ ਟੈਟ 'ਚ ਇਹਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜੇ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਐਮਬੀਬੀਐਸ ਲਈ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਟ ਟੈਸਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਵਿਊ 'ਚ ਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਫਾਰਮ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਟ ਟੈਸਟ ਕਰੇਗੀ ਇਹ ਜੱਜ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣੀ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ਨ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ स्टूडेंट 6 साल एमबीबीएस चलाना है या 4 साल किसी ਹੋਰ ਕੋਰਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸ ਉਸਨੇ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਪੋਜ਼ ਉਹ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਕੁਆਲੀਫਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਦੈਨ ਵਾਟ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ 4 ਜਾਂ 6 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਇੰਡੀਵਿਜੂਅਲ ਦਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਰਿਸੋਰਸਿਸ ਜੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਉਹ ਵੇਸਟ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਇਨਪੁਟ ਦੀ ਬਜਾਏ ਆਊਟਪੁੱਟ ਤੇ concentrate करने लग रही है कि पॉलिसी कहती है कि we will take into account the outputs from paradigm shift है कि input के जोर output के होएगा Professor Andrea sorry perhaps you won't be able to understand ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਨਪੁਟ ਦੀ ਬਜਾਏ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਊਟਪੁੱਟ ਦੀ इनपुट नया इशारा इस पर देख रहे हैं कि ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रिक्वायरमेंट एक्सेट्रा इनपुट ने भाव उन्होंने बारे बहुत ज़्यादा कोई रेगुलेटरी एजेंसी वो सिर्फ आउटपुट बारे पूछेगी किहो जी दे रहे हो एनटीए बनती है वो एनटीए के थ्रू होएगी। पर मेरा प्रश्न इत्थे ये है, मेरा खदशा कि जे सानू सही पढ़न का माहौल नहीं मिला, सही इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं मिला, सही ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज टीचर्स नहीं मिले, कि असी सारी की सारी जिम्मेवारी लर्नर ते पा सकते हैं। वो वधिया नहीं पढ़िया, ਉਹਦੇ नतीजे वधिया नहीं आए, एनटीए ने क्वालीफाई नहीं किया, इसमें लगे हुए 4 ਜਾਂ 5 साल ਨੂੰ वेस्ट कर दिए। ਉਹ ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਪਲੇਸ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ। ਭਾਵ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਟੈਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਟੀਚਰ ਐਲੀਜੀਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਰਿਪੀਟਡਲੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਰਿਪੀਟਡਲੀ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧ ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਐਨਡੀਏ ਯੂਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਟੈਸਟਾਂ ਵਾਂਗ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਪੀਰੀਓਡਿਸਿਟੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਟੈਸਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ। ਇਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਡਰ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਚੀਮਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਸੌਰੀ ਫॉर ਮਾਈ ਵਰਡ, ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਚੇ ਕਿੱਲੇ, मैं ये शब्द चक रहे हैं, थोड़े दिन पहला ये मंत्री जी ने वरतिया सी, हायर एजुकेशन मंत्री ने, ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਚੇ ਪਿੱਲੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰ ਹੈ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਨਰਸ ਹੈ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਬਣਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਰੀ ਦੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਉਸ ਲਰਨਰ ਤੇ ਪਾਈ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਵੱਡਾ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ।
क्वेश्चन है क्या नेशनल पॉलिसी ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਆਰਟੀ ਐਕਟ ਨੂੰ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਸ, ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ 60 ਤੇ 40 ਦੀ ਰੇਸ਼ੋ ਹੈ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਸਟੇਟਸ ਜਿਵੇਂ 40% ਪੇ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, 60% ਸੈਂਟਰ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਪੇ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਰਿਕੁਆਇਰਮੈਂਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਟੇਟ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ 40% ਪੇ ਕਰੇ, ਦੈਨ ਅਸੀਂ 60% ਪੇ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਅੰਡਰ ਵੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ, ਫਿਰ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਸੀ।
ज़्यादा वधिया जवाब पुलिस साहब देंगे, पर ये रेशो बदल जा रही है। अगली गल भी है कि अलग अलग स्टेट्स में अलग अलग भी शायद हो सकती है, पर मैं पुलिस साहब को
पता एग्जैक्ट नहीं पता कि रेशो की रखने वाले ने, और ये रेशो वैसे पॉलिसी का इशू भी नहीं करता, पॉलिसी का ये डायरेक्ट कर दी है कि it should be. Now, what would be the financial arrangement that would be in the state now? What would be the sharing formula? But successively, the central scheme was opened with 75-25 ratio. Then later on, it was shifted to 60-40, then 50-50. Visualizes that once a scheme is launched, after a period of time, the state will own that scheme. So I do not know what is going to happen, but that would be guided by the central and state bodies which are deciding certain dimensions. Policy is not relevant.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. मेरा नाम अरुण कुमार, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग। मेरा क्वेश्चन विद्या सर जी ਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਰਟੀ ਐਕਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 8ਵੀਂ ਤੱਕ ਨੋਟ ਟੂ ਫੇਲ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਨੋਟ ਟੂ ਫੇਲ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਹੈ, ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਾ ਕੇ +2 ਤੱਕ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। क्या ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹੀ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਮੈਂਡਮੈਂਟਸ ਹੈਗੇ, ਕੁਝ ਡਾਈਵਰਸ ਅਮੈਂਡਮੈਂਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੇ ਜੋ ਆਪਾਂ 8ਵੀਂ ਤੱਕ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਫੇਲ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ। ਮਾਹੌਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਆਪਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਝ ਮਾਇਨੇ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਰਨਾ, ਆਪਾਂ ਇੰਫਰਾਸਟ੍ਰਕਚਰ ਕਰਨਾ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਫੇਲ ਹੋਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਸ ਹੋਣਾ, ਉਹ ਬੱਚਾ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਸੋਚੇ? क्या ये 8वीं तक तो है ही है, जब +2 तक भी कर देंगे अब क्या वो मेंटालिटी चेंज होएगी या वो अपना रूल्स दे दे कुछ अमेंडमेंट्स भी किए हैं
वो डिटेंशन पॉलिसी जी रहे हो ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟ ਡਿਟੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਭੇਜੀ ਸੀ। ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਅਧੀਨ ਸੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਚੇਂਜ ਦਾ ਆ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਸੀ, ਬਦਲਿਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ। पॉलिसी नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी की नो डिटेंशन की गल नहीं करती, रादर ये पंजवीं ਅਤੇ 8ਵੀਂ ਦੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟ ਦੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਟੈਸਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਲੈ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਇਹ ਪੰਜਵੀਂ ਅਤੇ 8ਵੀਂ ਦੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਸ਼ਨਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੋਰਡ ਜਾਂ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਟੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਟੈਸਟ ਕੰਡਕਟ ਕਰੇਗੀ। ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਯਾਰਡਸਟਿਕ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਬੋਰਡ ਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਐਨਟੀਏ ਵਿੱਚ। ਭਾਵ ਉੱਥੇ ਡਿਟੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਪੋਸੀਬਲ ਹੈ, ਡਿਟੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਆਮ ਕਲੀਅਰ।
ਜੋ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। क्या इंडस्ट्री भी बिलीव है कि ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ?
तो इंडस्ट्री वैल्यूएबल मिलेंगे, लेकिन ये है कि एकेडमी जेड़ा सीरियस नहीं है। ये एकेडमिया इंडस्ट्री को प्रॉब्लम लगे कि ਉਹਦਾ सॉल्यूशन करके रियली ਉਹਨੂੰ देवे टाइम ऑन टाइम। तो इंडस्ट्री हर इंडस्ट्री को प्रोडक्ट्स में हर इंडस्ट्री मिलेगी और इंडस्ट्री खर्चा करने के लिए तैयार है, लेकिन वो रिजल्ट चाहिए। बिना रिजल्ट तो खाली कागज से इंडस्ट्री नहीं चलेगी।
Actually, we talked about non-detention policy. I think non-detention policy, we have misunderstood about that. Because this non-detention policy is basically to help the children to have more of enrollment in the schools. But this has been misunderstood that they are not to be failed and they are not to study for that.
ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਜ਼ਰੀਏ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਸਾਰੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਵਾਇਬਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ। ਇੱਕ ਪੈਰਾਡਾਈਮ ਸ਼ਿਫਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ। ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ, ਕੁਝ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਡਿਲੀਵਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਣਗੇ, ਬਾਕੀ ਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਣਗੇ। ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਣਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਹੋਏਗੀ। ਇਸ ਮੇਰਾ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਕੰਸਰਨ, ਇਹ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਹਿਊਮੈਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਸਬਜੈਕਟਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। For research funding may be for particularly development, मैं फंडिंग ओवरऑल फंडिंग नहीं कह रहा, पर एक गिव एंड टेक रिलेशन होता है कि एमओयू साइन होता है इंडस्ट्री एंड इंस्टीट्यूट के बीच। इंडस्ट्री विल बी इन्वेस्टिंग फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर कंपोनेंट एंड फॉर द आउटकम ऑफ दैट। वो थोड़ा एक रिसोर्स बढ़ सकता है, ओवरऑल नहीं बढ़ सकता। जिमें थोड़े एमडी साहब जिक्र कर रहे थे कि आईबीएम कोलैबोरेट कर रही है, पर की सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स ਨਾਲ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ 'ਚ ਪੋਸੀਬਲ ਨਹੀਂ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਕੰਸਰਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਸੋਸਾਇਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਲੀਡ ਅਕੈਡਮਿਕਸ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਜਾਂ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਕਰੂਗੀ। ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਿਊਮੈਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਹਿਊਮੈਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਅਗਰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੋਸਾਇਟੀ ਹੈ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬੇਸ ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਹੋ, ਸੋਸਾਇਟੀ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਹੋ। ਉਹ ਸੋਸਾਇਟੀ ਹਿਊਮਨਿਸਟਿਕ ਵੈਲਿਊਜ਼ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੀ ਸਿਰਜਣਾ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਦੀ ਸਿਰਜਣਾ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੂਗੀ, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੀ ਸਿਰਜਣਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਆਬਜੈਕਟਿਵ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਿਰਜਣਾ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਕਸ਼ਮਕਸ਼ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੂਗੀ, ਸਾਡੀ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਡਿਸਟਰਬ ਕਰੂਗੀ। I couldn't get properly what you repeated about detention policy. I apologize. Can you please repeat?
जो सर बोल रहे थे ना कि नॉन डिटेंशन पॉलिसी जो है कि एक क्लास में हमें किसी को क्लास में वो फर्दर 12th क्लास तक की एक्सटेंड है उसमें न्यू पॉलिसी में। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये शायद नॉन डिटेंशन पॉलिसी को मिस ज़्यादा किया गया है। इसको एक्चुअली इम्प्लीमेंटेशन किया गया था कि इस पॉलिसी में जो है बच्चे जो है वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इनरोल हो सके, स्कूल में जाने में उनका इंटरेस्ट क्रिएट हो। बट उसको इसमें भी टीचर्स ने भी उसको मिसअंडरस्टूड किया कि बच्चे जो है वो पढ़ना नहीं चाहते, वो स्कूल नहीं आते और उनको फेक उनको हमें फील नहीं किया जाएगा तो हम आए या ना आए तो उसको ज़्यादा हुई है, ज़्यादा उसका कोई बेनिफिट नहीं है।
I think in a different, not totally misunderstood. The policy not totally, partially maybe
Yes,
misunderstood, but when this policy was designed internationally, many people are saying this that they have a certain threshold level of learning, not exactly test or the cut-off test, annual or semester test. But even those nations have certain developmental stages child have to cross and then have to go to the next stage. Perhaps those benchmarks has not been set. And this policy say only that no student will be retained till the class of 15. No gains your concern, no practice prevailed like that, not misunderstood, practice prevailed like that, that it was a pressure or understood that once a student has been admitted to a school, parents was assured their reward will be promoted. Teachers were under pressure to promote, and they continue this practice for last so many years. And a student who entered into first class had been promoted up to eighth class without any test and with very dismal learning, I would prefer to say. But the moment when he, and above all, he was not tuned to take the test. And when suddenly he entered the ninth or 10th class and had to appear for the board, write the board examinations, he was not prepared at all to appear for the examination. But we usually say the anxiety or the stress of the examination. Anxiety is not altogether negative connotation word. We need a little bit anxiety for performance. Because students have to learn even since beginning. So it was practiced like that. So I think it was badly required, needed that this policy need to be discontinued. And now this policy say no detention policy. He is not talking of anything like no detention policy.
Something I add policy ਜਿਹੜਾ parliament ਵਿੱਚ act pass ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ that was a mandate कि now it will be the prerogative choice of the states whether to detain already existing. Now, on the contrary, policy that this should be they still want to go back. Now I just want to add one thing. Let us take some blame on us. We are so examination oriented. We have seen in schools that why is it so? Board classes are taught very rigorously, non-board classes are not taught very rigorously. Why 6th, 7th is ignored and in 8th is taught properly? Because we thought that class is taught where examination is actually now RTE much abused act actually doesn't deserve. Now this no detention policy is also much abused one. What was the reason? What was the actually point? Have been talking of examination field. Then they came out with the policy of continuous evaluation. Now, we always talk that examination on one day cannot test the capability of a student. When we brought continuous comprehensive evaluation right from class 1, we did not teach till the child reached class 8. Who told us that don't teach him? And who told us don't evaluate him? Who only said please don't detain him. Now, if after 3 months I could evaluate my child and know where is he and where is he not, I could upgrade him. But then we chose not to evaluate him because no detention didn't mean we are going to test him. wrongly implemented and continuous such a good thing, which is now abused like anything, and I am still in favor of that. Continuous comprehensive.
Right, if I may. Um, Again, this is one of there are these topics I'm sure teachers would discuss. Attendance compulsory or not? Failure should be there or not? Okay, should be pass and fail or not? This is as old as education. And studies say it is important to ask a student to pause some time and then get back. Unfortunately, there's a negative connotation word attached to it, failure. Okay? Today, if you look at developed countries, they call it unschooling. They say, enough of going to school, come back, again, get better, get yourself up, and then go. Why? Why do they say this? Example, I'm given a plate, okay? Um, Roti on it, then sabzi on it. Before I start eating, there is rice on it. And before I start eating, there is dal put on it. And before I start, there's some ghee and ghee on it. Now, what do I do? I don't know where to start, what to start. I cannot even reverse this. It's all done. For example, a fifth standard student, let's say second standard student who is struggling with addition and subtraction, let's say, asked to go to third standard and then learn multiplication, division, and then find the square root of a number. Right? Bad for him, it is difficult for him. One size fits all doesn't work, right? It's a humble suggestion to the student, right? Spend some time off home, I mean off school, stay at home, or have some other means. We will help you out. Don't rush. There's a popular meme, right? There's an elephant standing, bird standing, fox standing, everyone, and then the question is go climb the tree, right? I mean, so of course a cat will win this race, but will others win, right? So this question of incentivizing people by giving them the carrot to move ahead, disincentivizing people by making them go back and beating them, is not failure. Failure is basically giving time. Probably we should teach our kids to accept the word failure as room for improvement. Take some pause and then get back with a bang. Right?
I'm also in favor of you that you are proposing for the practical aspect of education, like spending more and more time on one concept. But my question is like, you're suggesting for the more and more time to one concept if you want the skills in a student. But is it possible in the present scenario? A lots of syllabus is there. So I'm interrupting your viewpoint. Right? Is it possible in a 1 year?
Good question. So I would again quote Kuldeep sir. He said, don't make it, if I understood you right, so you know, trying to say that don't make it 1 year gap, make it even more continuous, right? And don't call it failure and redo the entire 1 year, right? If you just TED talk which says, do not grade students, help them master things. Do it at their own sort of pace. Do not overdo the all of you standing around and then run right now. This is done once every year. If you don't, if you fall somehow, then it's your problem. You come the next year, right? Somehow they manage to fill in the gap by saying supplementary, etc., etc. But even that doesn't work, right? So if we have the right system, probably this will work. But I share your concern that can we really impart skills in people if we overdo the skills alone and not do the typical classroom teaching? That was a question. Right? Yeah, this is sort of again boils down to the typical teacher-student ratio, supplementing, etc. But then again, I'm sorry, I'm again sounding a fundamentalist. The best taught is a self-taught, correct? And then they also say, if you feed a man fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man fishing, you feed him for a lifetime. It is probably important for us to help the student to understand how to learn all by himself. Right? Good amount comes from the teacher. Good amount should come from the peers, which is popularly today called the peer instruction. Good amount comes from books, from self-study, and one amount comes from within. Right? So we should look at this distribution. Have a nice formula.
Discussion is mid silent. You are talking about the peer group discussion, self study. But reality that everybody is going for the self study or peer group discussion in the classroom. Is it?
Moderate to take when you ask when you throw a question to a panelist, tell the panelist also that how many questions are there, because I can see there are many people in the queue, so that they can answer to all the questions. So moderator, because there are three, four moderator moderating in the audience. So please make the people, where the panelists tell them that these are 5 questions, 10 questions, 12 questions are pending, so that we should give more time to every teacher who want to ask the questions. So take questions like you have multiple questions. I can see many people wanted to ask the questions. Throw the question to the panelist, and then subsequently go to the other question, so that we can cover more questions in a short time. That's more important. So that all the moderator, take proper questions from all the side, and all the teachers should ask questions. We can see some question coming from few tables only, but I can see many tables, 40 tables are here. So we could have probably 40 questions to be ready, and it should be thrown to the panelists so that we can cover more and more questions.
Yes, sir, you are very right, sir. There are 8 questions and active questions are there. सारे ही अपने questions आपसे पूछना चाहते हैं, इसलिए हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि स्कूल एजुकेशन और हायर एजुकेशन इन दोनों को कवर जरूर कर दिया जाए। हायर एजुकेशन से एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाह रहे हैं सर आपसे, आप प्लीज प्रिसाइज रखिए।
So I am Manish from Department of Computer Science. Sir, if you thoroughly go with this national, look like very visionary, and it will create a leaders coming future. But I have a doubt. Dr. Kuldeep, you said that 74% of institution will be in coming years. Sir, will it be increase the quality of education? Even right now, we don't have any top 100. We don't have any university or institution that comes under the top 100 institution in the world. And I have also a question to Dr. Sudarshan. Sir, you said that goal leads to the stress. Sir, if we don't have vision, then what we will do? I think so. When I teach to the students, they must know where they need to reach.
तो आपका सवाल हो गया क्या?
Sir, there are two questions.
Understood your first.
I just want to ask, will it be increased? I am reading that we have approximately 40. All these institutions at university has become work for us. Will it increase education, in the quality research in India? But right now we don't have any top university.
Pardon from, I'm just not a very big and a praiser of this parameter. We are not in first 200, we are not first in 300. We are not in a competition. Nice that we are this, we are that. It is totally unacademic, number one. Number two, when you were saying that if the number is decreasing, quality increase, now there is one understanding, quite a flawed understanding of course, that is that when the quantity increases, quality will fall. Now the point is, challenge before our country is that how to meet that elusive triangle of quality, quantity, and equity. Now, today, more quality and go for quantity is a problem. Go for quantity, go for quality, ignore equity, again is a problem. Actually, not one is equal to one equation kind. Social problem and social issues are not like this. What I mean to say is, this policy says 4% of the institution get closed virtually, then the quality will read. I doubt it. Because there is no indication, there is no such thing which that if I, as a big business house, open an institution and I'm very powerful and I will be putting in all quality, it's not necessary. I may not. But the larger section of the society, out of it, exclude them from the competition, then you are narrowing the base of your triangle. When you are narrowing the base, lesser number of people are competing. Lesser number of people are competing, lesser number of poor quality people may come on the top. So let us make the base quite larger. Let us have more institutions. I am not in favor of this that you should only have 12,300 and you close down all. Yes, you please close down those institutions that are not appointing teachers. Close down all such institutions that are violating the norms. You close down all such institutions, promise you degree without you attending the college. Close such institutions.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question is regarding technical education. Thank you, sir.
जहाँ तक मुझे लगता है राइट साइड में अभी 29 बैंक एवालुएट होके 12 आ गए है ना? ऐसे ही होगा जो चीज नहीं परफॉर्म होगी दूसरा उसको पेपर करेगा।
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन आपके आप जो बोल रहे थे दैट काइंड ऑफ इंजीनियर दैट अगर नंबर ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन कम आ जाएंगे तो अगर नंबर ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन कम है इट मींस दे आर inviting more number of students coming to the campus, then it will also decrease the quality of education. How we can have a good number of
Maybe I'll reiterate what sir said.
I have to lead my second question for you, sir. I have read that education policy. There are so many visionary drafts has been given, but I have a doubt on that. If we doubt when I go to the school, when I meet with the student, the classmate with the student, there is a problem of a culture, sir. We don't have a culture of carrying the things from one semester to another semester. When a student is in the first semester, he clears first semester and entered into the second semester. He forgets what he read into the first semester. In third semester, he forget what in the first and second semester. The basic problem we have in our education system in India. I have never read a single line about the same, how we change the culture of our education system until unless we don't change the culture of education system. Because sir, we have a culture of carrying the things. My parents' property is my property. My parents' bicycle is my bicycle. But why not my education I am not carrying my education along with me, sir, up to 12, up to graduating, sir. This is my problem.
I agree with the question. So the first one was about ranking. We don't feature anywhere there, which are addressed. Second was about vision. We need to have vision, but then you are contradicting sir by saying that. Third is about semester evaluation and not continuous evaluation. People tend to forget, right? So very quickly, I have something to add to the first thing. It was a fantastic answer that sir gave by saying that moderate things well. Do not worry about the quantity much. So when the quality is there, you just ask the question: are we able to deliver what we are promising? That should suffice. As with the ranking, I mean, this is something that many people all over the world keep asking, especially the IITs. What have you people done? How many Nobel laureates have you people produced, etc. Interesting answer to it. Okay, it is called the Ortega hypothesis. Well studied concept in education. Ortega hypothesis says the top layer of successful people, layer of not so successful people, the lower layer of invisible people. Okay, you don't just see the roof of the building. Look at the foundation too. Say that this is an ecosystem. You need it's a pyramid. The top 30 Nobel laureates, which who get the prize every now and then, you forget the 31st person who came very close, but he will not get anything. Right? So look at the 31st rank, the 32nd rank, 33rd rank, it's a huge ecosystem over there. Right? There's another quote which is Society requires both optimists and pessimists. Optimists build aircrafts, pessimists build parachutes. Right? So you need an ecosystem. You need providing an ecosystem. India is training good people who can go there and then become top people. Supplying knowledge for NASA, supplying knowledge for Princeton, Stanford, Harvard, and MIT. Right? We fit in some part of that ecosystem that we must consciously keep in our mind. Ranking is not everything. Number one. Second point is that what if we remove ranking? That's another point that many people say. Why ranking? Why to rank institutes? Then there are certain things that cause more damage by not having than having it. For example, calcium is bad for the heart, but it's good for the bones. Right? If I say no for calcium because it's going to spoil my heart, I will die out of falling. Right? If I overdo the calcium, I die out of heart attack. So there's an optimal point that we must reach. Having a ranking is okay, but not taking it very, very seriously is an important thing for all of us to know. Right? First thing. Second thing is about the vision that you were talking about. People have taught me that I should have vision, but sir, you are saying don't have that goal. So the point here is not to not have goal. It's this thing that a sprinter gets, person who is running fast. Okay, he's told only watch your track, don't watch your neighbor's track. Point is not that you lose out on the game. The point is you will get the best. That's all. Be goal oriented, but don't keep reminding of yourself of the goal every second minute. Okay, the second thing. Third thing for technical education is well debated that there should be continuous evaluation and not semester end evaluation. At the end of second semester, first semester subject should become the prerequisite. In fact, we should also ask questions from the first semester in a way that we test whether he knows the fundamentals that for the subject that he is learning the second semester. That's why we have what is called in PhD. I don't know many of you know it or not. The idea of comprehensive examination is kept at the end of 2 years. To test, have you had this very whatever overall learning of the subjects, right? Where you are tested with even the undergrad curriculum, right? We have the system, but the problem is implementation. I'll give you one last liner and then stop. Examination we have for entry into MTech. I'm sure we have such examination for pharmaceuticals too and medicine too. At Carnegie Mellon, they don't have any such entrance examination. Now we can start go on criticizing critiquing. They don't have, they take the SOP recommendation and we have this 3 hour exam. But then Carnegie Mellon gets 800 applications. Go to the website and they say 800 application, a 3-digit number. In India, right, take any institution, you have lakhs together applications. Every IIT, every single data aspirant will apply there. Right? We must have a different kind of a process to select, manage these sheer big numbers. That is why we probably have that kind of a system.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question is from Narendra sir regarding technical education.
Request teachers to ask specific questions. I also request the panelists also to answer specific. So in that way we would be able to cover more questions because I can see there are many questions there and we will have otherwise costly of time. We won't be able to cover. So whenever any participant wants to ask a question, be specific. This is my question and my question to the panelists also. Actually, more questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, first of all, Puri sir introduced that the opening and the closing of the institute according to the enrollment of the students in new policy. And also, my question is that in technical section, I read one point that there is we introduce education in technical courses also, like in BTech. According to me, the engineering courses are totally on practical basis. Our main focus is that practical. If you come in the college and attend the college to the practical, then you understand the more things. And Sir told us if I am a candidate, what is the dimension of that area without measuring. And if the student don't have the, according to me, practical experience in distance education, how they can contribute to the industry. So I also want that your point in distance education introduced in technical education is right or wrong? No, sir. Also from you.
I don't think wrong है ना
मैं तो कह रहा हूँ प्रैक्टिकल होना चाहिए। प्रैक्टिकल पर इंजीनियर किस काम का है?
Many, I am having many questions. The people want to ask question from Dr. Anjum. Do we have hopes from multidisciplinary as we belong to degree college? So ये जो एग्जाम करने जा रहे हैं सर ये क्या है जो लॉ और आर्किटेक्चर ये सारे कोर्सेज हैं other people want to ask about that. Do we have hopes from that? Can we see the positive aspect of this?
Of the artificial intelligence. When you are going for the research, you are going for the studies. What is required? The perfection is required. So whenever you are going the basically the degree college, or if we will not give the equal respect to all the disciplines, so we can't reach at the level of the world level. For example, this is one student. Student is from the commerce background. He is very good in commerce. I was asking one question from the engineering how that can be the commerce. And if you are going to develop a software for the stock market, then you have to go for the interdisciplinary. If you are going for medical, you are going for the chemistry matter, you are going for the physics formulas. Again, it is very important, and that's why I feel the government has introduced organic chemistry, and this was the best solution for this. And recently, in the new draft also for the PhD, they have given that you can go for the interdisciplinary. So I think that there is no harm. A person from the engineering background can be a very good manager. A person who is a very good leader may not be the MBA, but he can go in the politics also. He may be like engineer team also. So I think it's a good.
Sir, thank you very much. So let us see the positive aspects of the policy also. One was the second, we want to ask about tutoring system. Do we have hopes from tutoring system because we now want to see the positive aspect of policy? Can it help to solve the problem of teacher deficiencies in the various institutions?
Quantitatively, qualitatively not. As I mentioned earlier, the program and the REI, the remedial instructional program, are going to be students which are otherwise not keeping pace classroom with other students. Why they are having special learning difficulties. Now, special learning difficulties should be sorted out by the experience and the other way around. So it is counterproductive.
What about pedagogy and content, sir? Pedagogy and content. Sir, say about
Pedagogy.
this, please.
Pedagogy and content about what?
So this is to be mixed. Multidisciplinary aspect होगा कैसे? ये चलेगा कैसे?
Actually, when they say that the